Okay, tell me the name of this irrigation again.
Yeah, so what has been your experience with the Mistace S nursery in your greenhouse?
So here we are in the nursery. Sorry, I'll start again. So here we are in one of my high tunnels, and in here I've started using Sumiko's Mistace S nursery lines. And it's not a very pretty sight because we had a couple of killing frosts the last couple nights, so everything's dying. But I've been super happy running this S nursery in here. And what I love is that there's no irrigation in the growing space. It's all along the sides of the tunnels, and that's been great for just keeping things clear for weeding and walking and harvesting and all of that. So these lines, you run them in this case on each side of the tunnel, and they have a one-way spray coming in and meeting in the middle. It's like a nice fine mist. You get a lot of control with it. I have a lot of iron in my water that stains the hoop house plastic, but I don't get a lot of splash or water up onto the plastic because of the control using these lines. I get a nice even coverage, and I've had fantastic results with it in here. So the first crop I tried was densely planted salad greens, so these are direct seeded, and I mean, with my first trial of this stuff, I had a nice even blanket across the whole hoop house. So just a carpet of well-germinated greens, which was really great. The next set of crops is what you're seeing, which are dying right now, but I've been growing chili peppers as well as a central bed of edible flowers. These are nasturtium. And so now it's a very different situation. This is transplanted peppers, direct seeded flowers, very dense foliage. And we live in an arid climate here, so I don't, just for those who are paying attention, I don't need to worry too much about any kind of fungus or that sort of stuff growing in the crops with all that overhead water. And it worked really well. So peppers were happy, flowers were happy, had a great year of production in this tunnel using this Sumiko irrigation.
So when did you start using it for, and well, you already mentioned what crops, and you started using this
So I started using, tell me the name again?
S nursery.
Yeah. So I started using the S nursery, I guess, last season at the end of the year. So I was just about to plant my, like a late season planting of greens. And that was the first one. First use of it worked really well, had this nice carpet of greens germinate, and then throughout their growth, it was great irrigation. And then the second crop was the one that I'm standing amidst right now. This was a full season crop. So I've had this crop in since April, and both the flowers and the peppers did really well. And so throughout their life cycle, I was using this Sumiko line to just blow a nice mist across the whole crop for my irrigation needs.
Well, I guess you already answered this question. What do you think was the most valuable feature of the S nursery?
I definitely, if I'm thinking about the S nursery, it's kind of, as far as what makes it really valuable, it's kind of two factors. I've mentioned them before, but one is that I love that I don't have irrigation hanging and hitting me in the head when I walk through here, or on the ground getting in the way of our activities like weeding. So that's really nice. Also, it just, if you set it up right, as I have done, you just get a really nice even mist across the crop, which I really value.
I also think you answered this one. What crops did you grow in the greenhouse with S nursery? You already answered that.
Yeah, I've covered that for sure.
And how was the water coverage on the soil as compared to sprinklers?
When I think about the S nursery in a high tunnel or nursery situation, I can actually say that compared to other forms of nursery irrigation I've used, I get better, more accurate coverage with the S nursery. Mainly, I don't love when I have, say, overhead nursery irrigation. It's very hard to get coverage right to the edge, but not be spraying the heck out of the sidewalls, which just creates flooding along the edges as well as other problems. So I love that with the S nursery, I can start from the sides and spray inwards and get this really even coverage. So it's worked really well. I've been really pleased with it.
How was the germination and yield this year with the S nursery as compared to the use of sprinklers?
I'd say that if I'm talking about germination and other like performance, it's a little bit early for me to say that one irrigation system has worked better than the other. All I can say is, there's a couple of things about the Sumiko technology that I really like, and that I have not noticed any drop in yields or production. So there doesn't seem to have been any compromises using this stuff as far as like crop performance.
Now that you have a year's experience with Sumika's irrigation system, both on the field and in a greenhouse, what can you tell other farmers about it?
So now that I've used Sumiko's products around my farm, I mean, I'm a fan. I can recommend them. Obviously, you have to take each application and evaluate the appropriateness of the irrigation. But what seems cool about Sumiko is that they have many different types of hose for different applications. So I mean, I've only used 2 so far, and that just scratches the surface of what they have available. So it really seems like for a majority of irrigation applications, like on a mixed vegetable farm, Sumiko probably has you covered in one way, shape, or form for like whatever you're trying to do with your irrigation.